All right. Who's on? Who's on? Who's on? Hey, guys. What's going on? Hey. Give it another minute here. See who pops in. Hugh. It's good. Alan. Lori. What's going on? Yeah, I mean, not the result we wanted at the end, but I think it may have woken up some of the Yankees, and I think it could be a good thing. And, I kind of echo your sentiments, Brett. I mean, Green's been used a lot. I mean, one of the problems is, like I said, but the starters, most of the starters, not really going the distance for the first half of the season. They've been forced to overuse a bunch of the relievers, and Green's been one of them. And I think he's a little bit tired as well. So, and even though, that was a 97, 98 mile an hour fastball that was hit by Lindor for his third home run of the game. Nevertheless, he's losing kind of movement on his fastball. He still has some dominant innings, but he's getting hit more than he was before, unfortunately. So, all in all, it was a good game, though, and I think that kind of tempers needed to flare. I think that needed to happen to kind of wake up a bunch of the Yankees. So, and I hope that it does. I mean, definitely woke up Stanton with that, and it woke up a lot of the guys. And even I even saw Garrett Cole kind of going after Lindor and hopping over the dugout fence. I don't know if you saw that, and was working his way out to the field too. So that was nice to see. And quite honestly, I mean, this was. I'd said this before. I wish I would have seen something like this from Aaron Judge back before or at any point. But Judge, I mean, Stanton stood up for his teammates today, and that's leadership, man. That's a good thing. And I've always liked Stanton, but I like him even more after what he did. That's respect, man. That's respect. So, but Yankees unfortunately dropped this game 7-6. They did lose a game on Toronto, who won a nail biter today by a score of 22-7. So yes, 22-7. So, and I think they played the Orioles again, if I'm not mistaken. They played the Orioles like 100 times this season, so it's ridiculous. But this is where, I mean, I keep talking about this is where the Yankees have to make improvements and investments in the bullpen. I'd be moving Severino to the bullpen. Let him throw some darts for a couple innings. Forget about the rotation at this point for him. But Schmidt in his first game back after I don't know how long he's been out, but four and a third innings pitched, 7 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 runs overall, but 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. Heaney, 2/3 innings pitched, got out of it clean. He did. The sac fly was credited to Schmidt, so he threw a clean 2/3. Wandy Peralta, 2 innings pitched, 1 hit, 1 run, 2 strikeouts. Chad Green got hit. Unfortunately, gave up that big hit to Lindor. But again, he's not giving it up to Jonathan Villar. He's giving it up to Francisco Lindor, who is he's a jerk off, but he's a superstar. So, and it is what it is. But scoring summary: Gallo, RBI sac fly in the first, and on a throwing ever, Rizzo scored. Thankfully, Rizzo did not get hurt in that last inning there. And then RBI. Double by Stanton, who's on fire right now. So I hope he stays that way. 27th or 28th home run tonight. And, I think he'll be over 30. Conforto hit an RBI single to put them up, to bring it back 2-1. And then Lindor with a 3-run home run to put him up 4-2. McCann RBI sac fly in the 5th to put him up 5-2. And then Torres hit that 2-run home run, the clutch home run, and he needed that as well to make it a 5-4 game. And then Lindor, another solo home run, his second one of the game, put him up 6-4. Then Stanton hit that monster home run to put them up to tie at 6-6 in the 7th. And then Lindor, yes, noodle face, and solo home run in the bottom of the 8th to put him up 7-6, and that was the end of the game. I was hoping, I was really hoping Brett Gardner was going to get on base, but he swung at that nasty pitch. That was a nasty pitch by Diaz, so I'll give it to him. And I'll give it to Lindor. It was a good game for him too, but he's, just a classless. It was a tacky thing what he did, just taunting those guys and stuff like that. And he deserved to get it back. And quite honestly, you really want, it's talking crap when you have 20 of your teammates in front of you. Come on. It reminds me, do you really want Stanton to do what Darryl Strawberry did to the Orioles in 1998? Come on, dude. Let's get real. And you have your boy there, your boy Baez there. And Jordan, there's no way they're going to designate Chad Green. He's got 2 more years of team control left. So, I'd be shocked if they did, to be honest with you. So, it's not over yet, John, but it's not looking great. It's not looking great, but 100%. He's now an enemy in the Bronx, absolute enemy, and I'm glad that the Yankees didn't sign him or acquire him. So, good riddance, and let him. I hope he doesn't. He plays 10 years in Queens and doesn't win a ring. So, and yeah, every wild card team lost except for the Blue Jays. Yeah, and the Blue Jays. I mean, the Blue Jays are hot right now. When all the other teams are cold, they're hot. So, and they're making moves, and they have that young, dynamic lineup, and they're relentless, and what are you gonna say? I mean, they're really coming into their own right now. So they could take that. They could take the wild card, the whole thing. But Lindor did get the last word. Yeah, he's a numbnuts, but he got the last word. So, and yeah, I mean, well, yeah, Hugh, I get it, man. I get it, but all relievers, unfortunately, even Mariano Rivera gave up home runs. Not a lot, but Chang Green's he's having a rough second half of the season. That's for sure. There's no doubt about that. So there's no denying that. He's got to get that. And again, but I think he's a bit gassed too, because again, the starting pitching early in the season, with the exception of Cole, for the most part, put the bullpen in a hole because they had to use him a lot. So I think a bunch of these guys are gassed, and it didn't help losing Britton, losing Darren O'Day, and some other guys, because now these guys are being used more. So Johnny Lasagna's hurt now, so they put in Chad Green in more high leverage situations. So he's being used more often than not. So, and Gardy struck out, and Edwin Diaz struck him out with a nasty slider in the 9th inning. So he was working the count, but it is what it is. Yeah, I'm glad Stanton got in Lindor's face too. He deserved it, man. He deserved it. And you want to come after Stanton? Good luck with that, Francisco. Good luck, really. And then you want to bring Baez? Okay, we'll bring Judge, or we'll bring Luke. So good luck. Good luck with that, really. Yeah, I mean, spin rate, blah blah blah, Brett. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's more about locating the pitch than the spin rate. Like, this stuff is overused so much, this analytic stuff, and again, it's locating the pitch. And I mentioned Greg Maddux recently. He didn't have much of a spin rate, but he located the pitches perfectly. It's what made him one of the best starting pitchers of all time, because he knew how to locate the pitches in a way that made it difficult for the batters to hit. So, and these guys need to locate better. They really do. I mean, no, Stan didn't get in his face, but he faced him and told him to, like, dude, you better chill out, like. And I've never seen anybody pause to make mid-home run and look at him and do what he did. I've never seen that before. But I gained a mountain of respect for Stanton for doing that, for standing up for his team. I gained a lot of respect. So not many guys have done that. So CeCe did that, and some other guys have done it too. Darryl Strawberry did it. David Wells did it. Like Roger Clemens did. Guys that do it, gotta respect that. So, and again, I've liked Stanton since the beginning. I like him even more now. So streaky or not, that's respect right there. So, no matter what anybody says. Yeah, no, you're right, Alan. Boone doesn't call up players. He deals with what he's handed. I mean, Cashman, the rest of them call up and send out players. They sent down Andrew Velasquez, so that they can call up Clark Schmidt. That happened this morning. So it's been helping. Fast sloth, sniffed by dementia, Joe. What? Yeah, I mean, well, and that's the thing, 97 straight. These guys can hit 100 straight. So 97 with movement is definitely harder to hit. But yeah, it's hard. I mean, Brett, it's hard to get by on 97 straight. It really is. And Britton, yeah, I mean, I think he's going to miss the majority of next year anyway. So I agree with you, Michael, 100%. 100%. With Judge, he got taken out of the game with dizziness in the 3rd inning. So we don't really know what it's about, but he was replaced by Gardner. I guess they're going to run some tests. So, and we'll see. We'll run some tests. I mean, yeah. Well, that's the thing too, Alan. We've been talking about this too. You get a whole bunch of guys coming off of surgery, in particular Tommy John. It's really, really difficult to keep the entire rotation healthy of the bullpen. It's really hard to do. It's really, really hard to do. So, but it is what it is. It's hopefully they invest in some starters and some relievers, and it is what it is. Don't pay any attention to Fast Sloth. He'll be blocked after this video, so don't worry about it. He'll never be on one of these again. And actually, let me write Fast. Hang on one second, guys. Okay, yeah, he'll be gone after today. So he's trying to troll. It ain't gonna work. So yeah, Torres. Exactly. Exactly. Torres. Unless if he's not performing, he needs to sit. If Gio's not performing, he needs to sit. It's that simple. And yeah. Lefties, right? Yeah, 100%, man. 100%. You can rely on it. Yeah. Can't rely on any of this stuff, unfortunately. Maybe Marcel, maybe Clay Holmes, but he's also been used several games in a row, so I could see the logic of not wanting to use him. But then again, this is Chad Green's second game in a row too, so it is what it is. It is what it is. Taillon's, exactly. Taillon's getting some rest, so hopefully that'll do him some good working towards the postseason, which I hope they make. So, Michael, at this point, I think they're going to grab one of the wild card spots, but now at this point, I don't think it's going to be the first one. So if they grab the second wild card spot, that means they're not going to have home field advantage for the wild card game, unfortunately. So it'll be in Boston or it'll be in Toronto. So it is what it is. Yeah, it was dizziness. He took him out in the third, Alan, and it's unfortunately. So it is what it is, and 3 home runs. Yeah, 3 home runs, dude. Yeah, and Glaber made a key error too, which cost the Yankees some runs. 100%, man. And it is sad to see Urshela playing. It's sad to see a lot of these guys playing poorly. Urshela's I think 4 for 40 or something like that ever since he came back from the COVID list. So it's gotta be. It is what it is. But, yeah. He was definitely sitting on him, and he's a good fastball hitter, Lindor. He's a really, really good fastball hitter. So, it is what it is. But that's over now. The Mets won 2 out of 3. It's time to move on. I think Baltimore's next, so hopefully they can feast on Baltimore like Tampa Bay's been doing. Tampa Bay, I heard, is 19-1 this year. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate it, bro. I think they're 19-1 against Boston this year, and against Baltimore, which is insane. So I appreciate that, Brian. I think I agree, Alan. I think Toronto's going to get that first wild card. I really do. I really, really do. And we'll see with Judge. It's probably going to be day by day. I don't know what kind of test they're going to run, but it might be a blood draw, it might be a vision test, might be could be dehydration. It could be also a symptom of COVID as well. So who knows? Because he was positive for a while. So unfortunately. Yeah, Stanton versus Lindor or Clemens versus Piazza. I would have liked to see Clemens versus Piazza. 2 bigger dudes. I don't think Lindor would make it 5 seconds, at least with Stanton. I think Clemens Piazza would have been a fun matchup. I think so. But it is what it is. It's Boone has to deal with what he has to deal with, unfortunately, with what he's got. So it is what it is. And 2022, I did my most recent video was kind of reconstructing kind of building the Yankees this offseason. It's in the description below. So if you haven't seen it, take a look. I think you'll find it entertaining. And I kind of gave some ideas and insights and stuff like that. So, but they did show fight. I think some of them woke up today. And WWS, I think he's just saving them so they didn't pitch 3 games in a row. I think. I could be wrong, but Boston has an easy schedule. I think Tampa Bay has a relatively easy schedule too. So, but he did throw back-to-back and a lot of pitches, Brett. So I think that's why they didn't want to throw him 3 games in a row. So I get the logic, but we need more arms in the bullpen. If Severino is healthy right now, I'd be putting him in there right now. So I don't know what they're waiting for, to be honest with you. Unless there's something going on. I really don't know. But there was some key. The Glaber's error was key. I'm glad he made up for it with a home run, but that error did hurt the Yankees. And Green's obviously giving up that home run did hurt the Yankees too. So, and the Jays are red hot. So, and yeah, Frankie, it stunk. I have mixed emotions about Velasquez going down because he's a feel-good story, but I get they had to bring up Schmidt to give him, the pitching spot. And I wouldn't be surprised if they sent Schmidt back down and called Velasquez right back up. I won't be surprised at all. So, and it's possible. We'll see. We'll see. Abreu, yeah. Well, Abreu pitched last night too, Brett. So, and he had a little bit of control issues last night, but he did get out of it. But he got himself into trouble. But he's a young kid too, so I think they're going to be just taking it gingerly with some of these young guys to not kind of use them too much too soon. Lindor is definitely a baby. He's a chump. Good ball player, but he's a chump. So the bullpen is depleted, Robert. 100%, man. 100%. So Sweaty, I wouldn't say that they run New York. Yeah, you put them in the American League, they wouldn't be in first place or second. So they're not there yet. But they have the firepower, and I think Steve Coleman will spend more this offseason. So I don't see them being at the I see them being on top of the National League East pretty soon. But running New York, you got to win a ring first to do that. So that's the bottom line. Yeah, I mean, Alan, don't be surprised if they either move Gio in a trade or if they move Torres, move Gio to shortstop. Like, he's got better range than Torres as a shortstop, but they're not going to invest in shortstop. So there's options with him. So I'm curious, but I'm really curious to see what they do with Gio and Torres and Voit and Rizzo. I think that's going to affect a lot of the rest of the offseason, what they do. So, yeah. Yeah, there's a nail biter, Steven. 22-7, Toronto. So it's pretty close. And John, echo your sentiments 100%. Where the hell's Greg Allen? Why is he not here? Where is he? Yeah. Now is the time to get hot, Mike. I mean, they did go on a ridiculous run, but then it just shows how streaky they are. I don't know, Jordan, after rosters have expanded. I'm not exactly sure now. I know I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure. I'm going to find out, Jordan. I'll find out. And, yeah, I mean, well, that's the thing too, Brett. Yeah, he's got his $341 million now, so he's gonna do whatever he wants. But let him stay in Queens, man. Let him stay in Queens. So, I would listen to offers WWS for Gio. I would. I really would. And I'm not sure about 10 days, Andrew. Right now, about Andrew Jordan. I'm gonna find out. But Islanders, man, yeah, they're good. They're good. The Jets and Giants both lost today, and not surprising. But at least the Jets fought back in the second half. But they're a young team. They have some improving to go. So, and I'm a Jets fan, and so I'm hoping that they just play better than they did last year. So, I hope they go better than 3-13. I mean, I'll take 5-11 or 6-10. At least it's a step in the right direction. And then maybe the following year go 500, but at least trending in the right direction like the Knicks are. So, yeah, I mean, dude, they're not built to go very far in the postseason, Alan, right now. It's unfortunate, but I mean, they could get hot and other teams can get cold. It happens, but the way that they're built, I don't see it. So, yeah, and Gio was hurt. I mean, and that's the thing too. Like, and I've said this too. Like, why are you rushing these guys back? Let Odor, let Tyler Wade, let these other guys play Velasquez, and ease guys like Gio back in and Torres. Like, that way you're not just taking guys out who are playing extremely well. I don't think it makes any sense. And now Gio's reeling, man. I would sit him, man. Put Tyler Wade in, or bring back Velasquez if you can. But at the very least, Tyler Wade or Odor, instead of pinch hitting Odor. He plays consistently. He hits well. So just like Voit, and with the low, but yeah, I mean, he's got to get his legs under him, Brett. So you're right about that. And yeah, I mean, Glaber was good with the bat, but his defense has regressed. No doubt about it, Steven. No doubt about it. So Laurie, it's a good question. I don't know why he's regressed so much. It's a terrific question. Defensively, I mean, that's why I would move. Like, if you're going to keep him, you move him to second, and you move Gio to shortstop, and then you move DJ to third, and then you figure out what you're going to do at first base. That's what I would do, and that improves the defense. DJ's a little bit better at third, and he doesn't need the range that Gio has the best range of all the infielders, so you put him at shortstop. Gleyber Torres is a more natural second baseman, so you put him there, and now you've improved the infield defense. So, yeah, and Frank, I mean, he does play with Odor plays with fire and spark, and I wish he played more consistently. Now that all these guys are back, I just wish he played more. So I really do. So yeah, and 100% ease back into the game, just like starting pitchers. Like, that's one reason I keep pushing Severino to the bullpen. Let him establish he can last a few innings before you expect him to go 6-7 innings. Like, it's a better transition that way instead of throwing him right to the wolves. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Yeah, I know Gallo 2 career sack flies and like 2,000 plus at bats. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, man. But yeah. Torres, I mean, Torres had that killer year, and then he's fallen off. And he's really streaky with the bat, but he's really fallen off defensively with the glove, unfortunately. He's got value, so I wouldn't be, don't be surprised if the Yankees shop him this offseason. I really wouldn't be surprised if they did. So, and 100% now, they better get 2 innings eating starting pitchers. 100%. 100%. You need guys that could just throw innings, man, and it might be the right time. And Duque's right, Frank. I mean, it might be time to eventually move Sanchez off of catcher and make him DH. See, this is, I think, if they adopt in the new CBA this offseason, if they adopt universal DH, which moves it to the National League, then you open up so many options for so many offensive players like Sanchez, who shouldn't honestly be catching because his defense is really suspect. You can move him to first base somewhere. You can make him a DH somewhere and just let him hit, right? And take him out of that catcher position because defensively he's a liability. So I would be fine if the National League adopted DH. I really would. I really, really would. So, and but yeah, I mean, hot hand. Yeah, no Gleyber, no Gio. It was nice to see the home run today from Gleyber. But we just need him to be a consistent hitter, man. We need these guys to hit consistently. I like seeing DJ kind of hitting a little bit more consistently. So that's good. But yeah, I mean, we need one guy. Yeah, Brett. I mean, we need a guy. I mean, I don't care if he has a 4 ERA. If he averages 6-7 innings on a regular basis, I'm all for it. I mean, I'm all for it. Like, that's why the Carlos Rodon and some of these other innings eaters would be a good idea. Robbie Ray, like, they need him. They need him. And again, Tyon will be a year removed. Again, another year removed from Tommy John, so Montgomery. So I expect them to have more innings pitched next year as well. But, like, we need some reliability in the starting rotation and the bullpen. We need both. And we can't have, one side kind of flunk and the other side having to do much more to pick them up and vice versa. It just puts too much stress on the guys, and that's where that lack of depth really becomes apparent. It would have been nice if Davy Garcia improved, but he regressed this year, right? So, and I'm hoping that they continue to ease Luis Hill and have guys like Randy Velasquez and Luis Medina and these guys, unless they get packaged in a trade like a Medina and some other ones, but there's only certain baseball players in major leagues who I would package an Oswald Peraza or a Luis Medina or both of them for, or put Gleyber Torres in a trade for, or Voit. There's only a handful of players that I would trade these guys for under any circumstance. So, and that's just me. That's just me. And Sanchez definitely needs to improve his defense, man, because it's really suspect. Really suspect. It happened again tonight, And yeah, I mean, Lindor was the star of the game, unfortunately, but it is what it is. 3 home runs, clutch hitting tonight, and yeah, but he did put his tail between his legs when Stanton kind of turned around towards him. So I did see that, which is nice. But no, not all 5 stars need to be elite, Brett. 100%. Not all of them need to be elite, but we need them to be reliable for the most part. So, and like Rodon's not elite, he's not a superstar. Neither is Robbie Ray. They're good pitchers, but They're not Garrett Cole. They're not Jacob deGrom. They're not, Clayton Kershaw, guys like that. Corbin Burns, no. But we need more reliability like that. Taillon's a free agent after next year, so Kluber's going to be gone, and we don't know what to expect from Herman and some of these other guys. We'll have to see if Hill develops even further and what they're going to do with him. So there's a lot of decisions that need to be made, unfortunately. So thankfully, they're going to be under the threshold, so they can at the very least spend some money. But yeah, exactly, Brett. But at the very least, Cole puts him in a position to win more often than not. So that's why he's 14-6. So, with a lot of strikeouts and a low ERA. So, and I'm hoping that he comes right back on Tuesday when he pitches and it's fine. So, number twos, yeah. They're solid number twos. Me personally, I only call number ones elite. That's just me. But they're solid number twos, no doubt about it. Both of them would be nice, but I don't think the Yankees are going to go that far. My fear is they're going to wind up getting another mediocre pitcher for something like a Zach Davies or whatever, and I'm really hoping that they don't do that. They need to jump quickly in the offseason, and they need to bring in somebody impactful immediately, and then kind of start building after that. So that's what I would do. The West, I don't know, Frank. It's just something. Did Lindor think he was going to taunt them and not and get away with it? No, that's not going to happen, dude. The Yankees it's the Yankees, dude. They're going to come back at you. They're not the Cincinnati Reds or the whatever, the Toledo Mudhounds. This is the Yankees. They're going to come after you. It's that simple. So, yeah. I'm hoping not, Brett, but, I get it. It's one of the toughest losses of the season, but again, it was the Yankees played better today than they did. They played well yesterday, so it was a tight 3-game series. Aside from that huge blowout in the first game, the last 2 games were pretty tight. But it did suck losing it, unfortunately. But yeah, you just got you got to put Clark Schmidt out there again and let him rebuild his arm strength. He's got good stuff. He's got a power arm. He's throwing 95, 96, 97 today. He's got good stuff. He just has to work on his command and his control, and he needs that with consistent playing, some more experience. So he lost almost 2 years of development, and now he's got to get it back. So and it's going to take a while, but I like his arm. It's a live arm. So and he's got good makeup too, but. Yeah, no, I get the sentiments, Mike, on Cashman. I really do, and it's a lot of people that want him gone. I don't know who to replace him with that could come in here and do what he has done. So I really don't. That's my trouble, finding somebody who can do better. You know what I mean? Heaney, yeah, Heaney's got great strikeout numbers too. Yeah, but then he throws these meatballs. It's just. And he throws these meatballs at the worst time. The worst time. That's what, Chapman did for 2 months this year, was throwing these meatballs at the first time. But Heaney does have stuff, and he's got a funky kind of arm angle, come from the left side. He's tall, so you think he'd be much more a better strikeout artist. But no, he's not putting guys away. He keeps getting hit, with throwing a bad pitch, unfortunately. So I don't see him coming back. I think they'll let him walk, and Kluber and a couple other guys are going to let walk as well. So, and just going to have to, well, yeah, Mike, Theo Epstein's the only person I can actually think of who I would ask, but he's an executive at an MLB level now. I don't know that he would step back to come back into GMing. The Yankees could be an intriguing possibility. He won with Chicago, won with Boston. It'd be pretty cool if he did, but he's a big wig now in MLB, so I don't know that he would do it. I don't know. Maybe. I wouldn't be upset. He's smart. He knows baseball. So he would be a good candidate, that's for sure. And if he said he was open to it, I'd be interviewing him day one. And essentially offer him pretty much what he wants to come here and do it. So, I know Steinbrenner, yeah. Steinbrenner would have Theo Epstein. And Steinbrenner would definitely be heads would be rolling with Steinbrenner here, the boss. It's and you got his two sons just like competently riding the ship. So, but driving the ship, and it's how just like he's trying to squeeze every dollar. He's thinking of it from a venture capitalist standpoint, and I get it. And Hank, I don't remember what is he doing, playing with crayons. I don't even know what the guy's doing. So I haven't heard or seen him or heard from him in like years, man, years. So I don't even know. Like, is he around? Well, yeah, Theo would definitely want to. Well, Cashman has the VP and GM job now too, so I would give it to him. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. I would give it to him if that's what he wanted. George, yeah, my guess too, Robert. He would have probably gone after Dave Dombrowski, who was the GM of the Boston, and now he's the GM of the Phillies. He's aggressive and he gets things done, but he also did something that Steinbrenner used to do: give up a lot of the farm to bring in these major league free agents, all these guys in trades that were expensive. So I don't know that model would work right now here, unfortunately. So, but he's the only guy that I would see like Steinbrenner going after. And if Epstein was available somehow, Steinbrenner would be at his house, no doubt about it. So, no, how about you, Brett? 100%, he values money more than winning, man. Trying to just revenue streaming this whole thing. But again, if they win, the more they win, the more revenue that's going to come into the franchise. So I don't know how he doesn't realize that, or just doesn't care. But the more they win, better off they are financially. So it is what it is. Yeah, Steinbrenner would have gone after Max Scherzer. He would have gone after, a bunch of guys. He would have definitely gone after as many guys as possible. So he would go after Scherzer and Castillo, and he might have had both of them in the rotation at this point. So, in which case, and then he would have done some ridiculous signing in the offseason like he did, like the one day he came up with, Gary Sheffield. We all wanted Vladimir Guerrero, but for some reason he didn't go after him, and he went after Gary Sheffield, and they had like a lunch, and then the next day, Sheffield was being introduced as a Yankee. So that's the power of the boss. And, and Boston, he would have made an impact. He always made an impact. So, and then I didn't even know Hal and Hank existed when the boss was around. Nobody would have known because he was doing the interviews, facing the fire no matter what. And he was like, yeah, we stink, man. But don't worry, we're going to get this together. And he did more often than not. So, but at least he stood up in front of it. Where's Hal? Where's Cashman? Where are they? Nowhere. Boone's facing the fire, and the other guys are answering questions. So the players, but where are those guys? The guys that built this machine. Yeah, I like Epstein too, Mike. And he does both. But the Yankees are getting better at farm development. I just wish they brought in some more specialists on the pitching side to develop starting pitchers. I don't know why they don't, but they have a lot more success developing young relievers than they do signing them in free agency, because a lot of them, they sign them when they're like, O'Day's 34 and they signed them this year. I would have signed O'Day when he was 28, not 34. Like, but that's why I don't generally like their bit, the way they do in free agency with relief pitchers. They don't do very well. They develop the young guys much better. But so they need to invest in development. They need to invest in scouting and a whole bunch of different things, particularly on the pitching side. And I think Tyon's gas too, Brett. I really do. So coming and throwing 150 plus innings off after 2 years of virtually nothing, it's taxing. It's taxing. And I've said this early on. I would have capped him at like $120, $130, and let him come back the following. And that's where, and I've said this before the season even started, a 6-man rotation would have been ideal for this team this year. It would have stretched out guys. And I think would have done a little bit better at keeping them healthy. But, obviously plague got in the way and blah, 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 blah. It's a big virus. So, it happened. But I think, a 6-man rotation for the most of the year would have been a better option. Would have been a much better option. So Austin Rell, I mean, I would give Austin Wells a look. For some reason, a lot of people think that he's not going to stay a catcher because his defense is almost as suspect as Sanchez, but his lefty's got a good offensive skill set. So I'd be curious to see what he does. I definitely would. So I think it's in the afternoon tomorrow, Robert. I'm not 100% sure. I think it's at 2 o'clock tomorrow. Oh, right, Brett. Excuse me. That's right. It's one makeup game against Minnesota tomorrow. The Yankees are playing Luis Hill. Some rain out earlier this season. That's right. And then it's Baltimore. I think it's 2 or 3 against Baltimore after this one game against Minnesota. That's right, Brett. Good catch. Good catch there. Yeah, he could have gotten Rich Hill, man. Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's just, this is what I'm talking about. Like, it's moves like that where I don't understand. He's got stuff, but he hasn't put it together everywhere. And I know he's confident that Blake is going to pretty much fix everybody, but that's not the case, man. It's really hard to do. Really, really hard to do. So, but it's time for them to go on a winning streak here and a good winning streak and just kind of play better baseball all around. They really do. But, I'll be paying attention. I'll do a the game should be over at like 5:30 or something like that tomorrow. So I'll do the recap as soon as I can after the game. I'll keep you updated on that. But yeah, I mean, Hill is definitely an up-and-coming prospect, as are some other guys, but I would still slowly develop them. I wouldn't throw them to the wolves just yet. But yeah, I agree with you, Brett. I think he could be an impact pitcher here for a while. And he's young, he's a big dude, he's got a good arm, good command, poise. So those are the types of intangibles that the Yankees like. And they like big arms. And he has that. So, and Michael, I'm the same way. I'm afraid of Baltimore now. They play the Yankees double tough, double hard. And it's just, they definitely bring their double-A game when they play the Yankees. So, and good for them. And he does have a pretty effortless delivery, Brett. Got some good hard gas pitching, high 97, 98, stuff like that. And it looks pretty smooth coming out of his arm. So, but let's wrap it up, guys. It's getting late here. And guys, got to get everybody ready to go to work tomorrow. So thank you all for coming as always, and enjoy your night. And if you guys, if you haven't, hit that like button. It's really helpful. And if you guys haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that bell so you know when I put out new videos. It's really helpful to the channel, and it's greatly appreciated. So enjoy your night, everybody, and I'll talk to you next time.